Yes, what a day. Sorry, I'll get to you guys in a second. We gotta sit back and think for a second. Alright, let's get on to the video. I'm here to bring you a bit of something special. I'm bringing Warframe again. Yeah, I know, the politically controversy, DE, and the questionably whether dying or living state of the game. But before that, I want to make a very serious statement that has recently come up. The exploiting of children I will never support at all. This is an issue that came up in a recent Xbox Live party that will remain unnamed. And the gamer tags will also, the gamer tag, God forgive me, will also remain unnamed out of respect and understanding that this is probably in a younger phase. But what has me baffled at this moment is denying the exploiting of kids. As this person had stated before, the reason what sparks this, alright, what this sparked this was an argument over Dark Souls about saying it's an easy game. And of course I've called this person out on it due to the fact that I've played the entire Dark Souls series and that there is literally a Guinness Book of World Records saying it is the hardest game in the world. And there's only one man in the history who has ever beaten the entire series without dying, in respect to that man. And of course I'm like, why do you have 0 hours on Dark Souls? And of course he comes up with this alt account thing. And I used to say this a lot because I used to not play Dark Souls. It's like, man, Dark Souls is such an easy game, just roll. But then it dawned upon me when I got into Dark Souls how ungodly difficult and brutal it actually was. Because you didn't have to just worry about the NPCs at a higher difficulty. And to explain this, I'm still getting into Warframe, but I'm just getting this off my chest because I don't want to forget about this. I want this to be marked as a record that I am against child exploiting. But how it got there, as I was continuing, as I played Dark Souls, and I realized that the lower plus the newer games, the bosses and the enemies were lowered in their damage and status. At +7, you're facing the boss at their full potential, and they wipe high-level players all the time. It doesn't matter how good you are, they will outlast and outdamage you. I should know this because right now I'm on New Game Plus 4 on Dark Souls 3, and I'm at level 500, and they still take large chunks out of my health. And that is also a shout out to my boy beforehand, Dragon Rider, for helping me get to that level. We have been assisting each other in these leveling systems and fighting enemies and grinding enemies to get those levels up, you know what I mean? And also fighting other players. But it led up to me saying, so you had him saying he had 10 or 20 different alternate accounts. Of course I make a statement like, bruh, that's too much. Now at this point I'm being very satire, very, very calm. But of course, as you know, most people and other people, and a lot of people like to mistake my serious masculine tone, which was raised down here in the country, for being being a man and being very straight to the point and blunt as a challenge or threat or aggression, and it's more of me just stating the obvious and being very straightforward. I mean, anyone who's followed my channel for a long period of time understands I am pretty much straight to the point. I get very passionate about something that is wrong. I got a heart and I am a human being. And I do have the rights to my own opinions. But anybody can agree, as this person stated, that he used to sell gamer tags to children. At which I promptly did boast a bit of a opposition and opinion of, dude, that is just, that's exploiting children, brother. Of course, it was more in a joking manner because we've all been in that phase. When we were teens, we did something really dumb, but the matter is, he went to, oh no, it's just business. I'm like, at this point, I did get a bit more boisterous and serious with my statement of saying that is exploiting children, as the comparison is, it's like handing a kid two $1 bills for one $5 bill and telling the kid and tricking him into thinking that two $1 is more than one $5, but the kid actually doesn't understand the monetization value and the economic value of that $5 bill, so the kid is not going to understand when he takes the $2 bills that he just got less and lost more. And he then proceeded to state and boast about how he got a kid to buy a gamer tag with 5 digits for $50. And I'm like, dude, you're a bad person. And of course I said that at this point, I'm convinced, like, wow. You're not even admitting, you literally have just admitted to exploiting children. And it's not even their money. That is literally probably that's most likely their parents' money that they've got off their credit card, and it's like, oh, gamer tag, and they don't really understand it because they don't have the mindset for it. And of course, promptly, this person left the party with thanks and I'm like, well, you know how I treat these situations. I'm not really phased, but more of perplexed of why you think it is alright to exploit kids to sell gamer tags. It's not business. That is 100% explained. Business is just selling to teens, and at that point they know what they're doing, and that's their choice. But to children, that is an entirely different standard. At that point, you are dosing into an audience and a consumer value that is too inexperienced to understand what it is, and you are taking the parents' money from the children and not even putting a second thought in it. I've personally dealt with people like this in the flesh and in the face, and they said the same thing, except back then I was a little bit younger and more expressive with my opinion, which I promptly laid them out. I, again, will tell you, I am not a supporter of any type of exploit to children. And yes, I will post this as on my channel, with the gamertag being unknown, again, out of a respect to understanding where this guy was coming from in his younger years. Now, if this person comes back at me for any reason, I will then, as self-defense, post this gamer tag to basically drop an exposition bomb, because I'm making a simple statement and I do not need to worry, should not have to fear about being harassed either. Now, this person has not harassed me, ever. They have never harassed me, but as a simple thing, if they do somehow watch this video and then get very offended, which I know they are, I will post the said gamertag of this person, simply put, because I am not monetized by YouTube, and I am not a partner of YouTube, and I do not do any of this to make money. I simply have this YouTube channel specifically to post my thoughts, my opinions, and my ideas that happen to pop in my head. This is an entire hobby to me. This is a place where I can basically just let loose and tell my story and what I think. But I've already taken up like 10 minutes of y'all's time, so I guess I should get to Warframe. The Helmuth system sucks. Why does it suck? Well, for one, it is a slap in the face to y'all's truly, veteran players like myself. It is once more DE pandering to the newer players. If y'all don't know what the Helmuth system does, let me, hold up, give me a sec, enlighten you as I find a cushion. Oh. Yes, gentlemen, I sleep right next to my gaming console. Goals, am I right? And yes, I am sitting on a teddy bear. Hey. The most masculine color is pink. Teddy bear is the next step. Alright, it's teddy bear. Anyways. The reason why is the Helmuth system, basically, you destroy a Warframe and you get all 4 of those Warframe abilities, and you can put one of them onto another Warframe at the sacrifice of that Warframe's ability. Which has led to some very interesting combinations in certain YouTubers. Now, no, I'm going to tell you this, don't listen to partners. They are just straight out elite assholes. I should know, I was once a partner, and I was in that community, and I have seen the pure toxicity. If they are a partner, just because if it's not how they play, they're going to call you trash, be very mean and rude. And I can point out very specific channels, certain Canadian, that is highly toxic on our videos, and I have played with this certain partner and utterly smashed her in both the kill feed and in duels. And she was very agitated because it was a base build with only a damage of 527. And I take that build into PvE fights that are in Sortie, and as you know, the new system, Steel Path, is out, which is basically just default level 100 with just 2 extra numbers added. Just like, oh, it's 145, it's just literally level 100s. The Sorties are a lot harder than the Steel Path because then you are running into resistances, augmentations, and Eximus buffs, and constant Eximus strongholds, and the boss also is allotted certain different moves that are more devastating to the player. But the Helmuth system is where you can combine Warframes. At first it's cool, but then I take a look at it, it's like, a lot of the Warframes, I will not deny, benefit from the Helmuth. But at the same time, the majority of the player base actually using it isn't actually using it to benefit certain Warframes. It's more of just a build they saw on YouTube. And of course, I don't follow any builds, as you know this. I make my own. And I play by my style that fits me. That's the point of Warframe, but they add on these builds and they go into these high level areas and they just get completely wiped. And of course there was a certain YouTuber out there that came out saying, calling yourself a vet is just your way of saying you're giving yourself a title. No, I'm calling myself a veteran because I've been playing this game since it was named Dark Sector. On PC, I am a founder. And simply put, I don't boast about that, and I really don't like to talk about it because it was the worst $90 of my fucking life. But I understand how Warframe has progressed, and I do not like the way it has gone, personally. due to I see it as it's more pandering to newer players instead of showing some love to you older and the veteran players that are helping these newer players out. And no, you will find very few veteran players that actually help out newer players. You'll find clans that are recruiting newer players, but don't be fooled. They're just grabbing members, telling them what to do, and when they fight a clan like mine, which is the Lycans, a very well-known and renowned PvP clan on console for just straight up decimating other players straight out. We don't ever do fucking whatever that shit is in the PvP shit. We just go to a PvP lobby, because if you can't fight us with what you got and at full power, we're not gonna fight you, because honestly we see that server as a crutch. And honestly, a majority of the Warframe community does not even play that type of server. They prefer duels or Simulacrum. Simulacrum is where, Simulacrum is creative. And once more, I will shout out to my boy Dragon, who has made a very infuriating Revenant to kill. Even with my massive amount of damage that I can put out, which is normally about 300, 400 red K, I still cannot get through one of his Revenant stacks, and it's like, ah! And I applaud him for the build, and I find it very annoying, and I am very intrigued by it, but it's not my style of play. Now, to get back to it, I don't believe that newer players should just have access to the Helminth. I think they need to complete the star chart and complete the previous Cetus and Fortuna before they can enter the Necros. Because I'm seeing a lot of MR1s and MR2s walking up, putting this shit together, and then complaining because it's not strong enough, or this Warframe's too powerful, or this Warframe's too weak, because they can't handle being in higher level play and they are not ready for the area they are in. Now, this does pose the problem of why the hell are newer players getting all this fancy and tailored shit for them. I mean, the new Inaros Prime looked like garbage. I thought I was looking at a fucking can crusher on a golden figurine. Like, my brain, I had to make a appearance change on them, and I didn't want to go back to default. My default looks better. And it turns out the Prime version of Inaros is weaker than the original. Same build I have on it before, but for some reason it's weaker. And I looked at it and I'm like, wow. But that's besides the point. I find in a lot of cases with Helminth that it's just a waste of time. I mean, I'll use Inaros as an example. People say his kit is garbage, but that's because they don't know how to play him. I mean, you can use his fourth to gain massive AoE healing, his third to clear out groups of enemies and kill said enemies, and while obtaining resources yourself. His second can also heal you or heal another player back to full health and gives them invulnerability and makes them a high AoE target or a aggro target, and for that moment you can just kill everything around him because they're all focused on him eating. And finally, his first is a guaranteed insta-kill with stacked on with your critical multipliers and critical damage output, making your weapon a straight-out insta-kill machine. So anyone who says Inaros' kit is bad in general is just a fucking idiot. You just need to know how to play him. Same with Grendel, oh my god. I didn't understand Grendel at first, but I realized he's a tank medic. He is a fucking medic. Or straight out tank support. He uses his first to buff his allies' armor, and stacked with adaptation, oh my god, you can't be damaged. That's 90% stacked on 90%. That's 180% damage resistant straight off the fucking bat comparing on what you eat. And it's an efficiency-based frame, and most people are more on power and duration, which is or length. Not that that's bad, but you shouldn't diss certain warframes for that because their kits are normally meant for big-brain players who enjoy the complexities of outwitting and using a so-called shit warframe to utterly outlast all these so-called good frames. And I will shout out to the guy who did the tier list and putting Inaros in the S tier. I'm like, hell yeah, my boy. Somebody who recognizes what Inaros can do. Same with Grendel. But alternately, the helmet system is just... For one, it's way too expensive. Two, it's way too fucking grindy to get. I mean, seriously, you gotta be... The amount of grinding you gotta do is entirely and fully retarded. I mean, I thought Fortuna and Cetus grinding was bad. No, this takes the cake. I thought grinding for Equinox back in the day when you had to go to Void to get prime parts was bad. God, I miss those days. God, I miss those days. But no. This takes to another whole new level, and I don't really find it entertaining. Of course, I prefer to play Warframe normally on a daily basis, while also chilling out on Dark Souls or Halo and all that stuff. And honestly, I believe the player community that the helmet system could be improved, but should not just be handed to new players because newer players don't know what the fuck to do with it. For example, I could make Inaros an unstoppable, unkillable monstrosity with Chrome's Vex armor, which, if you don't know how that works, is they shoot you and you gain certain damage resistance based off the damage they do to you and scaled off your power strength, meaning I can have adaptation in that, and now I take 0 damage, making me entirely immortal for a few 20 to 30 seconds. And since I have Brutal Rage augmentation, I would never run out of energy. And honestly, I don't mind that. I would put that on there, but I prefer the ragdoll effects of just slinging things around and watching them go flying off the map. Just like, yeet! Heavy gunner, yeet! Now that I've got the Warframe done with, I'm gonna get back to the original start. If you are a person out there who has exploited children for money, I should just be straight out the point. Just, if you've done it, just straight out. If you're being called out, just admit it, because honestly, you'll be referenced in one of my videos if I catch you, because I don't tolerate that type of behavior from anybody. I honestly do not. I'm sorry, but as someone who's had that happen to me, I was once that dumb kid like, I got 5 $1 bills, and I gave away a fucking 50. Because again, I thought the fact was like, 5 means more, and if I have more, I can buy more, get more. But in reality, I just lost $50 and only got it for 5. To a teenager when I was 5 years old. Then I grew up and started seeing that a lot on a large majority around elementary schools, at which point I proceeded to stick around there and do some very questionably unlawful things, which it resulted in these delinquents clearing out. Same goes for Xbox. If you are selling things like gamer tags to kids for 50 and 60, you're exploiting them, and if you say it's business, no, that's just being a scumbag. I'm be straight out honest. That's being 100% a fucking scumbag. Because these kids do not understand that they could just change their gamer tag for $5 or $10 on their own. But instead you are selling it for $50, $60, and $100, and I'm like, wow. And right now my boy Dragon is sitting here in the Ghostbusters Prime, staring at me, waiting for me to get on, because right now I'm doing this video. He doesn't know I'm doing this video. Okay, shout out to Dragon. Go check him out on YouTube. He is an awesome channel, and he deserves some love and praise. But, in general, Helmuth could be better and should not be allowed to newer players. They should at least have like 5 or 6 of their storylines done, so that way they have a base idea of what some Warframes can do. And for child exploits, I do not support that. I do not. And I know I may get in a bit of trouble for this, but simply put, I have to speak my mind because I prefer to be straightforward. I'm not going to end up like one of my older brothers and bottle up my emotions and turn into an utter piece of trash. I love my brother. Don't get me wrong, I love him. But, to be honest, he turned out into a scumbag. And Lord knows I want to flatten him, but dear God, afterwards I'm giving him a hug because I do love him and I miss him. Doesn't mean I'm not going to flatten his ass. Real talk. I have, not recently, but a majority of my gaming and life on this planet, just been treated like trash or some brute for hire or some monstrosity. I mean, my voice and my personality come from a very rough upbringing. Not from my parents. My parents are great and I love them to death, but from the people I've dealt with, I mean, I grew up with a very rough neighborhood. We were very straight down country folk. We get straight onto it. Playing football on a rotten gravel road. Tackle football nonetheless. And over the years, I grew certain strong morals to stand up for what's right and to boast my opinion, my own opinion, not society's opinion, not someone else's opinion, not some fucking politician's opinion. No, I came to boast my opinion and my opinion alone. And every time I've ever done that, even with a crowd, they've always shunned me, and I'm sitting here, and I'm like, you have literally fallen for this political bullshit of following the school system. I mean, honestly, I'm gonna do a video about brick and mortar schools and explaining how stupid and economically bad they are for our country. I'm talking about brick and mortars. I'm not talking about private or charter or online. I'm talking about brick and mortar because as someone who's attended it, it is shit. I've always found it very infuriating and frustrating that there are very few people out there that boast their own goddamn opinion. They're always like, oh, I agree with this guy. It's like, how would you make your own opinion? Stop trying to be someone else. Have your own individuality. What the fuck happened to individuality? What the fuck happened to society in general? When did we all become a bunch of fucking sheep? I'm a reference for honor here for a second. Apollyon, the Age of Wolves, is the perfect reference of what needs to happen. Because everybody ain't thinking individually. Everybody just following somebody else. No, there are very few people just leading it. And the people leading it get shunned to know that. And I get shunned to know that, but I'm not leading shit. I'm just trying to live my life. I'm trying to get up there. I'm trying to set up money. I'm trying to get things done. And I know this is random, but people need to have individuality and boast their own opinions. It doesn't matter what your so-called friend thinks or what your friend's gonna think of you if you oppose their ideology. Stand up for what's fucking right. Alright? The moment my brother started disrespecting my mama and lying about her, I got pissed. I straight out told him, don't your ass ever, straight face to face, tears in my eyes, anger in my soul, a rage, told him, don't ever come back to the house. Because I knew what I was going to do if he did. And that hurt. But it was the right fucking thing to do. I stand up for what's right. If I see it as wrong, I boast my opinion about why it is wrong. And I back it with fact and common sense. And I'm always shunned for it. I'm always yelled at for it. I'm always tried to be guilt tripped for it. I'm just gonna break it out. I don't feel fucking guilty for most shit. I don't. 21 fucking years I have been dealing with people guilt tripping me. It doesn't fucking work on me. It just pisses me off. I don't get angry, I get pissed. If I'm angry, I get violent. If I'm actually angry, as you can tell from recent photos of my wall or my punching bag, or what's happened to a majority of trees that I've ripped in fucking half with my bare fucking hands, that's what happens when I get angry. I know, I just get pissed, I get annoyed, because it's like, wow. I'm not referencing anybody in general. I'm referencing all the people I've dealt with in the past years, online, in real life, not standing up for what's right. I don't care if it gets sent to jail. If I gotta beat up 5 guys to protect one little girl from getting mugged by these thugs, I'ma do it. 'Cause I'm a human fucking being. We did not evolve 400,000 years of evolutionary fucking success to become degenerates. What the fuck happened? People are always saying, would you stand in front of our soldiers though they're killed? Yes, I will stand in front of our soldiers. I'll take the bullet. I will fight for them. Because without them, we wouldn't have a country. We wouldn't have freedom. We'd be invaded and have to play defense. I'm sorry. But yes, they do bad things, so that way you won't have to. They take a very hard life, so you won't have to. God, my entire life, I wanted to join the military, the army, be a sniper. 20 fucking years. I personally trained with my father, who was Black Ops. I got so damn good at sneaking around and moving through the forest that I snuck up on him with a stick of fucking butter and poked him twice, and he didn't even know I was there. I busted my ass, and life fell through because of these fucking degenerates who fucked over my life. I got so much shit on my mind. I got so much weight in my soul. And no one, I mean no one fucking knows it. Hell, you don't even know it. Even though I'm telling you I got it, you don't even know what the fuck it is. I keep shit pursed like that here. You won't ever see me actually shed a real tear. Yes, you'll hear me, but you're not gonna see a damn fucking tear fall from my face. I was raised in a generation where a man is supposed to be a fucking man. You take a hit, you hit back. You don't go crying to the principal, he hit me, I'm sorry. I was raised where doing what was right was not punishable. I was raised to stand by and do the right fucking thing. I was raised with the one thing society seems to be fucking lacking. Common fucking sense. And nobody in the right mind, as I have seen it from YouTube, internet, out in public, has a lick of fucking common sense. They're all in their phones like, ugh. I once, when I was applying for jobs, walked 8 fucking miles because I didn't have a car. I walked 8 fucking miles to apply for a job. I don't even know anybody that would actually do that. I don't even think a marathon runner would do that. Like, oh, they're just prepping for a marathon. But when it comes to jobs, like, oh no. Why does no one else have the determination to do something? Why does no one else have the same common sense as I do? Why does nobody ever take a look at, hey, why is he saying this? What's his point of view on it? Hey, he actually has a point. Nobody ever agrees with me because, simply put, it's hard fucking truth and nobody wants to swallow it. If you've done bad, I'll bust your ass on it. That's how it is. You have no idea how many people I've gotten banned by Microsoft because they tried DDoSing or cheating. I caught them and I dealt with them. Nobody. I don't put up with shit of doing that. I stand up for what's fucking right. No, I would edit this out, but I'm not. These are my opinions. This is how I feel right now. And if you got a problem with it, dislike the video, go somewhere else. Cause I ain't changing for jack shit. I'ma be me. I'm always going to be me. To all those out there who actually are hearing my message, or watching my videos, I thank you and thank you for your subscribing views. It really does mean quite a lot to me. Please, stand up for what's right. Do what's right. Be a good person. Be the best man, be the best woman. Be the best human being you can be. 'Cause there ain't enough heroes out there. There ain't enough good people out there. You gotta get up. And you gotta make the choice that you gotta take it on. And that's all I really got to say on the matter. I'll see you in the next video, which will definitely be soon. which will be a continuation to why Halo won't be Warframe. I know it's been a couple of years, but I'm going to get that now, since it just dawned on me. Y'all folks have a good day.